Welcome in, everybody, to the Voice of College Football's Miami Postgame Show. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Another disappointing loss, I guess. I think we did play a little bit better. Saw some improvements there, but still disappointing. Got Slim Shady Canes and Hurricane Central with us here again. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Depressed.
Well, better than I was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, give us your thoughts then. What say you, Slim?
This a lot of people aren't going to like this. I'm not mad about this at all. If we were going to lose games this year, this is how I expected them to get lost. Compared to 2 weeks ago, they actually showed up for this game. They actually fought in this game. But you just had typical mistakes of first year in a new system. I mean, who's to say if a couple of those drop passes aren't caught, drives don't stay alive, if Borregales makes that kick, which normally most of us would think that he would make. I mean, there's a tie ball game right there. If
there's a 10-point
swing. Parrish. If Knighton doesn't fumble that, if he doesn't fumble that ball after he got the first down, I mean, that drive's still alive and going, and as far as we know, could end up in some points. So, yes, miscues, but the kind of miscues you expect in a first-year system. And that's why I'm not mad about this one, because as opposed to 2 weeks ago, they showed up motivated and prepared to play. And hats off to the defense. Sure, Drake May got a couple of passes off on him, but Drake May's gotten a whole lot more on everybody else this season. And, one of them was just a miscommunication between Tyreek and Kitchens in a zone coverage where Kitchens was supposed to pick up the guy after he got out of Tyreek's zone, and he didn't.
Right. Yeah, I think we got what did we get? 2 interceptions, right?
Should have been 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was literally 2 passes that he threw where he was like, man, fuck it. Josh Downs is out there somewhere, and he just threw it up. He was halfway down at one point, and he just threw it up, and it was a completion. No, it was a touchdown.
Wasn't it Williams? Wasn't it Williams that had that one in the end zone?
Oh, no, that was Corey Couch.
Yeah, I was looking at the stats.
Okay, that was Couch. Okay.
Yeah, it went right. You had the one through Couch's hands, and you had the 2 that he just threw up.
Hey, I want to say thanks here, James Hennessy, man. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. He says this program relies on Mario developing linemen. Well, really appreciate your support. What you guys think about that?
I think every elite football team counts on linemen getting developed.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
No, not wrong at all. And
I mean,
we appreciate the support, James.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And I'm not trying to disregard it, but I mean, that really is the truth. And that's why I'm not so mad about the run game, probably as a lot of people are, because once you're down to your third string center and your second string right guard, your line's not going to play as good as it can.
Right. So what about you, Hurricane Central? What you were at the game? Tell us a little bit about your experience or your thoughts, takeaways.
I mean, despite the loss, it was a fun environment. It was said that there was 53,000 people there, and it looked like it a little bit. There was a lot of points where it was just kind of like, man, what the hell is going on? Like, we don't really know what we're doing. And then there's a lot of other points where we just gained momentum, especially going into halftime with that really great play by TVD to get the touchdown to Parrish, and then the pick by Cam Kitchens and being able to get the field goal. And then even though we didn't get the onside kick, it really felt like it for a minute there that we did get it.
Right.
We did get it. And then forcing North Carolina to go 3 and out. And on that final drive, you could just tell everyone was kind of like anticipating, okay, like, can we at least get this to overtime? And then, I'm not going to say anything bad about TVD because were there some passes that he definitely threw behind his receivers? Yeah, but there was a lot of plays that he stepped up and he made. And he threw for almost 500 yards. He threw for like 496 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, it happens where he overthrew the ball, threw it too high, and it got picked off.
Well, it was a little high, and the lineman got a finger on it, which is going to make it tumble and sail even higher.
Well, yeah, I was there in person. I didn't see that. But then, yeah, if the lineman gets a finger on it, that's another factor.
They showed it in slow-mo on the replay on TV.
Okay, yeah. Then yeah, that definitely affects the ball. But, he did, after all the criticism, after all the negativity of put in Jake, he stepped up and he made the plays he needed to make to win this game. But there was those same mistakes, whether it was drop passes by Mallory on 3rd and 2 or Knighton on a crucial 2nd down where then he could have turned around and made it a first, maybe not take it to the house, but make it a 1st down. And then TVD gets sacked. And I think that was the time we missed the field goal. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. But, Rooster, again, fumbling. He fumbled last week. He fumbled this week. He picks up a 4th down, and the ball just pops out. Missed a few blocks. The inability to punch the ball in when we're literally on the half-inch line. There was another time where we failed on a 4th and goal. There was twice that we were just unable to punch it in. I mean, honestly, we should have won this game 31-27, 34-24. If just not all of those things, but just some of them went our way.
If we didn't have bad luck, we wouldn't have any. Hey, let me get to this super chat here.
But it's like I said, those kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, MDB 2006 $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. He says, "I will be positive in one regard. Keontra Smith played a bell of a game. Move Al Blades back to corner." Yeah, we appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for the support. And he did play a good game.
Oh no, wait, it was Keontra that had the pick before the half, not Cam. Sorry, Cam had the other one. But yeah, Keontra had the pick. I think he had a few tackles for losses. I really like Keontra at linebacker, and I think that having played safety in high school and in the early part of college really helps with his coverage as a linebacker. And he's also just not scared to hit. And sure, he's a little smaller, but he's got he has decent speed on him. So yeah,
he did. He played it. He played a good game.
No, yeah, he did. 100%.
Yeah, and MDB, thank you very much, man. Thanks for the support. So what were you saying before that, Slim?
Well, I was just saying the miscues like he was talking about is exactly what I said 5 minutes ago. That's the kind of stuff that you can expect from a first-year head coach, first-year coordinators, and that's the kind of stuff that will get cleaned up week to week. Now, as far as Mallory, I can't really take his lunch money too much. I mean, because Mallory did have 120, 130 yards. I'd have to look it up. I mean, Mallory had a hell of a day.
Yeah, he played pretty tight, I thought.
Let's see. Willie Mallory had 8 receptions for 115 yards.
There was really 2 plays. Well, really just one. It was the drop, and then there was the 4th down we failed to convert, where he kind of just didn't really fight to get into the end zone. He was kind of just letting himself be pushed around, and TVD just kind of threw it away.
Well, I mean, TVD was also throwing off his back foot on that. He had somebody right in his grill.
Yeah. I'm not blaming that on TVD. I'm just saying, it's kind of what happened.
That's why that one went kind of errant.
Yeah.
Everything Diesel. He asked, where the hell has Colby Young been?
Oh yeah, man. Got Colby Young at the end of the game with the touchdown, fighting for the ball, with the 2 big catches he made before that. he played really well. He needs to be one of the featured receivers on this game. And Brashard Smith. Brashard Smith had some really good catches too and was able to make some moves.
Yeah, that was nice. And hey, James Hennessy, thanks again for another $2 super chat. He says his biggest takeaway is MTSU loss did not cause a snowball. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully this wasn't that little bit of a snowball starting to go. But I thought we rebounded well. I mean, after that loss, I was, I'm really disappointed we didn't win this game. But at least they didn't go out there looking broken. So, we got to have something positive to take away.
Well, this is another game like Texas. This is another game like Texas A&M where the offense outgained the other offense again.
Right.
And just little mistakes cost us. But that's the good thing about little mistakes is they can be cleaned up.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to do looking at the stats here. I just brought them up. So it looks like, do you have the total yards there, Slim?
Right here, I've got North Carolina at a total of 470 yards of offense. Miami with a total of 539 yards of offense.
Yeah, I guess we just have to learn to score more touchdowns than that other team.
Yeah. Get out. Well, I mean, those two, fourth downs inside the 5-yard line, what Miami Central was talking about, is exactly it. But those kind of things, like I said, with an offensive line that we know is not great, it's pretty good, but it's not great. I don't even know if I'm going to say pretty good. It's better than average. I'll say that. Their offensive line is better than average with all 5 of their starters, and they lost 2 of them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I think they're better than pretty average. But
we lost you for a minute there.
You're down to your center.
Yeah, he's in a sketch spot.
Yep. Yeah, you're going through a bad spot. We'll come back. Hey, Wilkie's in here laughing at us. Thanks, Wilkie, for stopping in.
Well, that's okay. He's a West Virginia fan. We've been laughing at West Virginia forever.
Right. Oh, dang. Hey, we got MDB 2006 with another $4.99 super chat. He says, last one. Well, it doesn't have to be the last one. You can keep them coming if you want to. Last one. Why is Thad not used on short yardage? It just doesn't make sense. What do you think about that, Slim?
MDB, I agree with you 1,005%. That's actually something me and Traveling Fools were talking about before the game, especially in those short yardage situations, and especially when you're having trouble with your offensive line. Why are you going to run Parrish, who's 190 pounds, when you've got Thad Franklin, who's 240?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either, but I
don't understand it. I get their trust in Parrish. I really do. Parrish has played well this year. I don't understand their trust in Knighton so far this year. And now he has some problems with fumbling the ball, but it seems exacerbated because Knighton has so few carries. Because Knighton just has not played very much this year. And I think that may be part of the problem on why the fumbles are seeming a little worse this year.
Right. He hasn't, he's coughed it up quite a few times. And he hasn't been in that much. I mean, hell, he was out for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many fumbles he has this year, but it seems like it's at least one a game, isn't it?
I think it's just 2, but they were at very, very bad positions, and that makes the problem seem worse than it probably really is.
Right.
But like I said too, when with so few carries, it's hard for him to get a rhythm going or get anything going close to what he had last year, and that can also contribute to fumbling the ball more.
Yeah, and exactly. MDB makes a good point. He's like that. I guess he's speaking about that. I'm sure that he could literally fall forward and get 1 yard.
Yeah, you're not going to have so much of being able to force Thad back as much as you can Parrish.
Right.
I mean, that extra 50 pounds makes a difference.
Dude, service is bad.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you made it back.
Everybody runs through sketchy spots, boss. It happens.
Yeah, I think he's back in a sketchy spot. Yeah, and I guess Rob Fisher, said like he fumbled loads last year as well, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, he has been kind of a butterfingers, but
well, and being fully transparent too, I was always more of a Don Chaney fan than I was Jalen Knighton, even when they were being recruited. And I mean, to me, you go back and look what Chaney did in 2020. To me, he outdid what Knighton was able to do last year when Chaney was out with that knee injury. Now I don't know what's wrong with him this year. And this is also seems to be where a year where the injury bug is kind of catching us.
Yeah, we haven't. I mean, literally nothing's gone our way this year. And sometimes a lot of sports does have to do with the bounce of a ball or the random little things, and everything seems to go exactly opposite of luck in our direction. So
it does, but and I've said this till I'm blue in the face. I said this on Coach Coop's show, and a bunch of people on there disagreed with me. But
Slim, you don't ever have people disagree with you.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't get why people are so surprised. Because here's the thing. There's a difference between when we're down to North Carolina or Georgia's down to Missouri, because that championship culture has been built through consistency year after year at Georgia. We can't build any consistency year after year because we keep firing everybody.
Right, exactly.
Just like I've seen the comment sections full of everybody wants to fire Josh Gaddis. Outside of a few things that I would have done differently in short yardage situations, but still would have worked if an offensive lineman here or there picked up the correct block or did what they were supposed to, Josh Gaddis called a great game.
Yeah, I like the play calling a lot more this game than I have previous games. So,
and here's the thing. A lot of people didn't want us to run the ball, but coming into this game, that was really North Carolina's weak spot was against the run. So that shows just how deficient we are at offensive line.
Right. And, Kyle kind of, I guess, agrees with us there that nobody should be surprised given they have to buy in and figure out this new coaching staff.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. And Kyle, thanks for stopping in, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. Everybody needs to sit back and, lick our wounds once again. We're getting good at it, but we got to, take there and let this program evolve. I mean, I didn't think going into the season we were going to be a playoff team. Neither did Slim. I don't think anybody realistically ever thought that.
Well, and you can also look at, perfect example. We've talked plenty on here about we don't like the way the linebackers are playing. Well, we can see what they're wanting the linebackers to do. They're wanting linebackers that are also able to drop back into coverage. Well, that's not what Manny Diaz recruited. Manny Diaz recruited linebackers that can stop the run and rush the quarterback. So you also have to figure they have to get people in that are built for their system. And that doesn't just mean every 4 or 5 star guy, because you may have 2 5-star linebackers because you only have so many 5-stars. You may have 2 5-star linebackers that are great at exactly what Manny Diaz wants them to do, but they're not going to be good at falling back into coverage.
Right.
So it takes time to get the guys in that can do what you need them to do. And it doesn't even happen in one recruiting class. You can only bring in so many in a class.
Now I will say, I mean, like, in all fairness, Aaron Frazier here, man, his mouse is still jumping around on me. Like he says, sorry, Slim, you're wrong. I mean, he spelled you're wrong.
Okay. Well, I mean,
he said you're wrong, but he spelled you're wrong. You're wrong. Miami won 5 of its last 6 games in 2020. They beat ranked Pitt and NC State in the last few minutes. And I think to his point, like Ohio Hurricane underneath, he's saying Gaddis did not call a great game, 24 points against a sorry defense. And then I don't know if can you see the chat, Slim, or are you on your phone?
Yeah, yes, I could. Well, I'm on my phone, but I can see the chat.
Okay, cool. Because now he goes into UNCD has averaged giving up 40-plus points on the average. Miami only scores 24.
Okay, let me deal with these one at a time.
Well, they all kind of go together. That's why I ran, the pushback on the
okay.
On the play calling.
Well, what's the difference between, and I'll deal with Aaron's first. What's the difference between last year and this year? A new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, completely new system. So you can't expect what they did last year to translate to this year. You just can't. Because Josh Gaddis and Rhett Lashley run 2 different offenses. And a lot of times it doesn't work out year one because as much as everybody in college football made fun of Gus Malzahn just wiped the floor with Rhett Lashley's team.
Who did they play?
UCF wiped the floor with SMU.
SMU, right? Okay, SMU.
So I mean, it doesn't. It's comparing apples and oranges. You have 2 different offenses.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It take time to figure it out. I'm hoping that the new recruits coming in are better. Better potential for this system they're trying to run because whether you like it or not, Canes fans, here we are. This is what we got. So we better start looking for some kind of positives. And hoping that we're getting the new players in that are going to fall into the system because this is our system now. This is our life.
Right. And to be honest with you, it's not a bad one at all. And I know a lot of people want the Mike Leach air raid, throw the ball, 60 times a game, put up 6,000 yards a season. I don't care as long as it works. And if Gaddis is going to run a balanced system between the run and the pass that works, fine by me.
Okay, MDB, thanks again for another $4.99 super chat. He says, I'll show Steele some love. 6 points in the second half. I really think I guess there is too much rotation. And where is Frierson? Haven't seen him since week 1. I don't know what happened to Frierson.
Well, Frierson had a few good plays in the Middle Tennessee game and was actually the one they cut to him during the game, during the coverage on TV. And he had gathered everybody up and was hollering, yelling at every single one of them.
Can y'all hear me good?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, you're back, buddy. Yeah, where was he at today?
Let's see.
I didn't see him.
No, I don't see him on anywhere.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was
sorry for
injured.
the technical difficulties.
Oh, it's all good, man.
No, you're
fine. The on-site reporter had a little bit too much trouble with the service here. It's not a good spot at all.
And Aaron Frazier, that's fine that we're returning a starting quarterback, but you're starting back at square one with a whole new system. It's like we took 2 steps forward having Rhett Lashley for 2 years in a great system, and then you're taking 3 steps back by hitting the reset button again.
Right. It's frustrating. I mean, Aaron, we're not like, pointing like directly arguing with you. I mean, we agree, or I do at least. I agree in a lot of ways. I mean, it's really frustrating to watch, but it is going to take. And I agree with what you're saying there. They probably should have built more around if we wanted to win today. But I mean, they're trying to create a program for tomorrow, I guess is kind of where you have to look. I don't think TVD is the future of this program. So if you're going to try to get everybody on board to win and create a better program than what we've been dealing with, you might have to, trip a little bit along the way. And yeah, we tripped. We face planted again. So it's going to happen.
Did we lose him again?
Yeah, he's going in and out. But I mean, do you agree with me there, Slim? I'm assuming you do.
Area.
I mean, I completely agree with you. And to be honest with you, this game was proof of what they said they were going to do earlier this week. They focused more on things they do well, less on things they don't do so well. But and I saw it over and over again in Coop's chat. People are just saying, "Well, quit running the ball." Well, you can't quit running the ball because once again, if you get predictable doing that, like everybody complained about with Mark Richt, defenses figure you out very quickly.
What's up, Luke Walker? He makes the point that only 2 of Carolina's 5 prior opponents scored 40 or more. Thanks for stopping in, Luke. I'm sure it's to gloat and rub it in, but I like you anyway. Thanks for coming by.
Well, Luke Walker also can't tell the difference between an actual football conversation and somebody trolling him. Because I told him Van Dyke was going to put up 500 yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns just messing with him. And, well, I was almost right. Van Dyke almost put up 500 yards.
He got the 500 yards. I mean, what did he get? 496. That's close enough to 500.
I ain't going to knock that. And, hey, if they play like that when I'm trolling people, maybe I just need to troll people more.
Right, exactly. Next week, Slim, start talking about 650, man. Come on. Start trolling with 650 yards. Hey, James Hennessy, man, thanks again. Yeah, exactly. Right. Let's keep going. James Hennessy, thanks for $2 super chat. He says, play calls today, example of balance, present and future.
I mean, I'm just going to say this about the future. There are a few reports that when Mario came in, things were worse than he thought, which I can believe. Because this was a program that wasn't really putting money into football, cutting a lot of corners, and we were still very much stuck in the past. So, look, should we have won this game? Yeah. But, like we said earlier, it's not like we just got smacked around and looked like we didn't belong. There was just little mistakes that cost us what should have been a 4, 6, maybe even 10-point win. But like Slim said, you can fix those little mistakes, and at least it's not big things that we need to wait years to overhaul.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, another point I brought up, and this goes to what you said about, things probably being worse there than what we thought. I absolutely believe it. And I spent a lot of time on the bullhorn talking about that because, and especially after the MTSU game, I brought this up to a lot of people that didn't want to hear it. But I told them, I said, you still have a lot of players on this team right now that were on the sidelines for the FIU game dancing and making TikTok videos when they were losing that game.
Yep.
So that kind of mentality does not leave a program in one off season.
I mean, look, it's still a loss and it hurts, especially like I said, we should have won. But after taking the emotional aspect of like being like, damn, we lost on a pick, we lost because of mistakes on fourth downs, we lost because of a missed field goal. Taking that away, you can definitely see the foundation a little bit to the future. And honestly, like I saw some people in the chat saying, oh, defense messed up. Guys, we were saying before this game that North Carolina's probably going to drop 40 on our asses. And they only dropped 27. Did we break a few times? Yeah. Did we bend a few times? Yeah. But when we needed to make a play, did the defense step up? They did. At the end of the day, the defense stepped up and made enough plays to keep it within reach for us to win this game.
Absolutely. And that's why I started this off with saying that I'm just not as mad about it as a lot of people are. I mean, you're talking an offense that has run up and down the field on everybody they played this year except for Notre Dame. And they didn't do that to us.
Yeah, Drake May was supposed to be the one throwing for 500 yards, not TVD. That was the story coming into this.
And I saw a comment just a second ago. I didn't catch who said it, but it was while you were talking. But what they said was absolutely right. I think a lot of people have a misconception, delusion, whatever you want to call it, about how talented this team is. This isn't a top 10 roster in the nation. This isn't a top 5 roster in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw someone mention blue chip ratio, and I was listening to Orange Bowl Boys the other day, and this isn't my original point, but it was a good point they brought up that can we stop talking about the blue chip ratio? Because we have a lot of 4 stars, but there's a difference between a low 4-star and a high 4-star, 5-star. That's why there's only really 3 or 4 teams every year that can compete for a national championship legitimately. Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. Why? Because all they recruit is high 4 stars and 5 stars. There's a difference.
Hey guys, can you hear me again now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I had a technical difficulty. I had a glitch there. My computer tried to update right now, and everything went away. So perfect timing. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was making sure I was back.
No, you're good. But yeah, we saw the difference between that with Georgia playing Oregon. Oregon's recruited some 5 stars. They've recruited some good 4 stars. They've been top 10, top 15 in recruiting. But when you take a team that is borderline top 10, borderline top 5, and top 15, and a team that recruits top 3, top 5 for 6 years now with Kirby Smart, you saw what happened, 49-3. So
well, and I think that also kind of proves my point as well that, okay, yes, Oregon is loaded with talent. Oregon is a more talented team than Miami now.
Yes.
But you see what happens when you are when they're not too far apart in talent. Oregon's top 10 roster, Georgia's top 5 roster, arguably top 3. But you also see the difference in a coach that's been there for 6 years and a coach that's been there for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, Falcon RX, thanks for the 305 super chat. He says, I hate the outcome, but we looked better. And I do agree. And I love the Falcon RX. I love your avatar you got there. The Clockwork Orange. Ludwig Vaughn. I get it, brother. But yeah, I appreciate it. I agree. We did look better. And we actually showed up and tried. So.
Yeah, at least we didn't just let ourselves get beat around or lose 62-28 while giving up 500 rushing yards like we did in 2020 to UNC. So there's that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and Tony, we're not happy, but we can't just come on air and cry. John Bird, he says, it's sad. I'm 41 now. Been a Hurricanes fan forever. It's sad how far we've fallen. I've watched Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Reggie Wayne, Clinton Portis, real Canes. We're bad. Yeah, I agree, man. I'm 46, so trust me, I feel your pain, John. I watched all the good stuff back then too. It's hard to look at it now.
Yeah, well, and people want,
I mean,
and this isn't to kind of go at him, but people talk about the past, and they bring up inevitably they end up naming guys from that 01 team. Does anybody remember Miami's record Ed Reed's freshman year? When this was right after Butch Davis first took over, they were terrible. That was a 3-win team.
3-win.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Are you talking about 97?
Yeah, that'd been around 97.
I think it was 5 and 6. I don't think it was 3 wins. If it is, then it's worse than I thought.
And hey, John, thanks for the $5 super chat. He says we're horrible. Love the Hurricanes, but we are at best 6-6, 7-5, and yeah, that's what it's looking like.
It is, and
that's exactly what it's looking like.
And I got on Coach Hayes' show, and everybody dogged me for it. But I said at the time, the day it was when he went live, the day they announced that they hired Mario, I called in and told him, I said, this team's going 6-6 next year. And he asked me why. I said, because look all throughout college football over the past 20 years. I said, what happens every time a team hires a new coach, new coaching staff, everything's getting overhauled. I said, they have a worse record than they did the year before. Example number one, and you want to talk about, coming in with talent and expecting to win year one. Georgia fired Mark Richt on a 10-win season. Kirby Smart came in with that exact same talent and went 7-5 with it. It's just the way it happens. When you hire a new coaching staff, you tend to have a worse record than you did the year before.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand the frustration in the chat. I mean, trust me, it sucks. It sucks to lose. I understand it. I mean, what you guys got to look at. So we're here to talk about the game, see how it went. Talk about. I mean, we're not going to come on here and just cry for an hour and a half. That would be no fun. So we're here to talk about it and see what you guys think. I understand your frustrations.
Like I said, it's just the repeated comments of, well, he's paid all this money and he's expected to win even year one. No, he's not. Nobody is.
Well, Mike Williams thinks Gaddis should be fired tonight.
Yeah, why? Well, it's not going to happen. I hate to break the news.
It's not happening.
Hold on. Let me address that. We all wanted Gaddis to let TBD loose, to update the passing scheme, to spread it out. And he did that. And the inability to run the ball was not on him. It was on 1, execution, and 2, injury. We've said it multiple times. The third string, Jesus Christ. Okay. So, watch where you're going, man. Oh my God. I hate. All right. Anyone in South Florida, you all know about the South Florida drivers. I'm not going to get into that, but whatever. All right, as I was saying, third string center, second string right guard. On an offensive line, it's already learning a new system, like we were talking about, and it's the first year with a new head coach and new way of learning how to play offensive line. I mean, that's not on him. That is not on him. Tonight was not a failure on the coaching staff. It was a failure of execution due to little mistakes, like we said. Yep. This isn't on Gaddis. This isn't on Kevin Steele. Because people during the game, and even I was saying it, man, why are we playing so much zone? Well, who on this team has the speed to cover Josh Downs? Who on this team has the speed to be able to cover any of these guys? We're going to be tired by the second quarter if we just play man all game.
Well, guess what? They played man all game against Middle Tennessee, and everybody bitched about that too.
It's like, look, I love the University of Miami, and I love this team, but one, we need to be more realistic, and two, the fan base needs to stop going at people's throats after 5 games. Literally just 5. This isn't 5 games in year 6 that this is going on. This is 5 games in year 1.
How dare you speak such blasphemy, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm triggering all these Miami fans that are getting on my case about this. Hold up, buddy. I've been a Hurricane fan forever, through the good and the bad. I'll be a Miami Hurricanes fan for life. I live in West Virginia, so believe me, I hear this poopy all the time. I don't want to say the other word because I don't want to.
Right, I'm right there with you, John. I've been here through the good and the bad, and I'll still be here tomorrow. Either way.
Exactly.
Not, John, I'm not gonna come on here and cry for an hour and a half. We lost.
The general overall point we're making is, okay, get your way and fire Gaddis after the first year. Guess what the offense is doing? Starting back at square one again next year.
Right.
It is very rare that you get a situation where Urban Meyer, who, say what you will about him with all the controversies, we're not going to get into that, but he's one of the best college football coaches of all time. It is very rare that you will get an Urban Meyer to go into a team like Ohio State, who I think they went like 7-5, 6-6 the season before he got there, and they go 12-0 his first year. You know where that happens? NCAA 14, where you're using the teams and you're playing every game on the easiest difficulty. Or if you're just good at the game, yeah, you'll go 12-0.
Well, guess who that didn't happen with? Who some people call the greatest coach of all time, Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, and he lost to UL Monroe, which I know we've brought this up before, but where people say that, well, Nick Saban lost to UL Monroe year 1, and Mario now lost to Middle Tennessee, or Manny lost to FIU. So Manny's going to be just like Nick Saban because Nick Saban lost to a Group of 5 team. That's not how I'm bringing it up, but yeah, we're just making the point that year 1 is normally rough for coaches, and it is very rare that you get a Urban Meyer 12-0, Dennis Erickson winning the national championship his first year, or Larry Coker too with the 2001 team, first time head coach winning the national championship. Of course, that's the greatest college football team of all time, but still.
I agree, John. I like John. He's realistic. Seems like a cool guy. We're pretty bad, honestly, but love the Hurricanes always. See, that's where I'm at. I mean, I can look at the game and go, oh, man. But we did improve off of not last week because we were on a bye, but, from 2 weeks ago. We did look like a better football team. Tyler Van Dyke looked a hell of a lot better.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and that was my whole argument about Middle Tennessee was that I'm not calling it a fluke because you don't lose in a fluke by that many points, but it's an anomaly.
Exactly, Miami 21. Miami 21 Hurricanes. Miami has the worst drivers. No, he says down here where foreigners arrive in Miami and have a BMW within 2 weeks of the country. He got some crazy Russians driving around in their new BMW.
I'm just sitting here in the back seat, and I see like 6 cars break all at once. And yeah, man, like I've had Miami drivers do some pretty crazy things to me on the road. I hate driving.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me. I am going to pick one out here. Highlight Ohio Hurricanes comment. Says, I'm glad to see these guys are happy with another loss. Nobody up here is happy with a loss.
No, James Williams was screaming on the field after the loss. I literally saw it with my own eyes.
No, I think he's speaking of us. Yeah, I think he's speaking of us. I'm glad these guys are happy with another loss. Well, thank you, Ohio Hurricane, for tuning in. The only thing I'm happy about is that you are here. I appreciate you coming in.
I mean, it's the point you made earlier. It's the point you made earlier. What are we supposed to get on here? It's come on here and cry on our beer for an hour that they lost, or look at what they did right and can continue to do right and what they can fix going forward to win games.
Yeah, it would be a hell of a lot easier to come on here and do a post-game show that we won. But either way, we're here and we're doing this. Just trying to have fun with it. So, jump in here with us and have a good time, man. We all of us know we could have, should have won that game. I mean, yeah, it sucks that we lost, but here we are. Let's talk about it.
But see, the reason that I'm in a good mood even after this loss is because there is a difference between what this coaching staff is doing and what the previous coaching staff did, and that's night and day obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we're going to continue to improve as the season goes along.
And even beyond that, even after the season's over, and this coaching staff is filled to the brim with A++ recruiters, so they're gonna bring in the talent. This team is gonna get more talented and get even better going forward.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, John. John's got a question for us again. John Hennessy, thanks for the $2 super chat, John. He says, what should the coaches focus on this week? If you had to ask me, I would think just like Hurricane Central was saying earlier, just to execution of the plays and ball security. That would be that's what I think.
Ball security, blocking assignments, because there was a few times where we missed a few blocks, or just the offensive line. Really need to sit down with the offensive line because, all right, look, we're injured, we're banged up there, but guess what? Injuries are a part of the game, and you have to be able to work around it, and that's why depth is so important.
Yeah. I actually agree with both of what y'all said. I think if you're going to focus on a position group that needs to be worked on, this week, it's definitely the focus needs to be on the offensive line, because we know what these running backs can do when the offensive line opens up holes for them. We've seen it. And then, like you said, execution. Not only wide receivers need to be out there catching balls, which I'm not going to get on them this week. Drastic improvement from what we've seen in other games this week, but the secondary as well, because there were definitely opportunities for more picks, and the ability of safeties and corners can catch the ball is just as important as wide receivers.
Yeah, I think definitely Colby Young needs to be more burned because he got in the game and immediately started making plays. And I'm sorry, Frank Ladson, you take him underneath and he can, catch some balls when he's wide open or some little 7-yard dig route or out route. But he got all that size and he's not doing jack shit with it because he just doesn't go up and fight for the football. Or when he does and he has it in his hands, he allows it to get swatted out.
Well, he's had a couple of games where he's had several good catches. Last game, this game. But like this game, I noticed they kept catching him. How many times can a guy catch a ball on the sideline? I want to see what he can do in some open space.
Yeah. No bull. Can you highlight that comment on the bottom? 80 million for no bull.
Yeah, I agree with Miami 21 Hurricanes here. Rooster could stand to gain some weight. I'm hoping the mustache man beefs him up a little bit by next year.
Well, and it also it depends on what you mean by 2-year rebuild. They're not coming out and winning a national title or even competing for a national title in year 2. That's ridiculous.
No, it's honestly going to be until year 5 or 6 that it's seriously like, okay, we're expecting to be competing for a national title. Because people are going to say, well, Kirby Smart made it to the national championship his second year. Well, yeah, Kirby Smart inherited a 10-win roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big difference there. Hey, John, thanks a lot, man. we appreciate you, brother.
7-5 team last year that couldn't stop the run, constantly got burnt, and we couldn't tackle to save our lives. We're not going to make the national championship in 2024.
Yeah,
Could
there's a lot of
Yeah.
You can't call it rebuilding. There's a lot of building that needs to be done here to become a competitive football team again.
Well, and even to go back to your point earlier of, getting lucky in some places, the ball bouncing your way in some places. I mean, once you hit 24, 25, our schedule is going to get even tougher. We got Florida and Notre Dame on the schedule both those years.
Right.
And 24, we're on the road for both of them.
Yeah, that's not going to be an easy play. But I look forward to playing Florida again, though.
I do too.
24, we're on the road at Clemson again, and Florida, and Notre Dame.
Ooh, that'll be rough.
Yeah,
that'll be a fun season, though.
Yeah, it will be, especially if that's 24. So that's two more years. We'll probably be quite a bit more competitive by then, I would think. Yeah, we better be. Now see if we're back here. Right, if we're back here whining about I'll agree with the chat if we're still playing like that in 2024. I haven't seen improvement.
As long as you have consistency through those years, that increases your chances exponentially. Now, they can even lose a guy like Kevin Steele by then, because I don't know how many years of coaching he has left in him, but they've already got a plug-and-play guy ready in Charlie Strong to take over the defense.
And then if you lose Gaddis, you have Frank Ponce.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. If the offense continues to improve, and there was even talk of it this last season that, Gaddis may get offered a head coaching job. And I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because honestly, I was surprised that Tony Elliott got an offer for a head coaching job, but it is what it is.
Yeah, the real Daryl, he says Miami needs to establish the run game, then pass off play action.
I mean, the run game's important, and I like what Cristobal's trying to do in terms of balancing between pass and run. But in today's college football, you can't just go straight run heavy. Like, you have to at least have some semblance of a passing game. I mean, look at Iowa. They've got a great defense, and they can't do jack on offense.
Right.
Yes, but look at teams like Alabama who still run a balanced offense.
Yeah,
everybody fawns off the wide receivers and Bryce Young, obviously, because you've had the Heisman Trophy winners. But Alabama's is still able to dominate in the run game every year as well, and this year is no different with Jahmyr Gibbs.
I mean, yeah, just look at last year. They get into the playoffs, and they draw Cincinnati, and their whole game plan was, okay, we know Cincinnati, even though they're a group of 5 team, and we're playing in the playoffs, they're still a very good team, and they have a good secondary, because Cincinnati did have a good secondary last year. So what did they do? Despite having the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback and all these guys at receiver, they said, hey, we're just going to be able to pound the rock and really establish this and just control the game on the ground.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that's what you call smart game planning. Because look across that field at Cincinnati's defense, and what do you have? You have 2 first-round corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to run the ball and keep the ball away from you two.
Like, and that's why Miami 21, he's wanting to bring back Ken Dorsey, so I like it. Maybe we can get Ken Dorsey to currently start at quarterback. At least he's energetic and likes to throw his headset around. I like it. I like the mindset.
Did you ever see that clip of him throwing the tablet? That was funny.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
I never thought Ken Dorsey would be that type of guy to get that animated like that, at least.
Yeah,
I mean, I was not opposed. I was not opposed, and I even said this when Manny brought in Dan Enos, because the thing about Dan Enos when he came in was, okay, he's going to run a good offense, and I mean, given the time he would have, but I mean, either way, he was going to run a good offense and get offered a head coaching position. And I was like, okay, bring in Dorsey as a quarterbacks coach because he's already proven at that, and he can develop into your, basically your next coordinator. And I mean, now he's a coordinator, sure, but this is still, I mean, it's still to be determined. This is what, his first year as a coordinator solely.
I mean, I know though, and he's helped with the development of Josh Allen. He's already been there for years as his quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, which I knew he wouldn't have a problem. I mean, he turned Cam Newton into a decent ball passer when he was at Carolina.
He was there for his MVP year.
Yep.
Hey, John Bird's going to Virginia October 29th. He's just hoping that we show up to play. John, I hope we do too. Slim and I are both going to be at the Clemson game on the the 19th, Slim. Yeah. So we're right there with you, John. We just really hope. Yeah, we're both traveling to go to the Clemson game and meet up with some Clemson people.
As depressed as we are about the way that they're playing, Virginia is a whole lot worse all around.
So maybe John, I hope we both have the same outcome, but you're probably going to be more likely to see a win than us. Is what I'm thinking. But I'll still be there. I'll still be there rooting for it. Hey, Stecken, I guess that's how you say it. Stecken 18. Thanks for tuning in, man. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. He says, you guys just make excuses. Mario and Mirabal are too bad for this product. Same players as last year, but a worse performance. Okay.
Yes, and I'll give you the exact same answer I gave before. Comparing last year to this year is comparing apples and oranges. It is it's all new coaches, all new system. So the players are starting back at square one. With Rhett Lashley being gone and the entire coaching staff being gone, you negated all the progress the team made.
And I'd like to throw in, I'm not making excuses for absolutely anything. I'm just on here talking about what I saw in the game, and that's basically that's it. But either way, Stecken, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. We really appreciate you being here.
I mean, honestly,
yes, but we do appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we heard this last week after Middle Tennessee State. People were saying, "Oh, you guys are just making excuses," and now he's saying, "We're not making excuses. We're just not being overly negative and asking for everyone to be fired after 5 games."
Yeah, we're not acting like the sky's falling and the world's about to end.
Yeah,
because I'm standing outside and the sky is not falling.
It's actually a pretty nice night out where I'm at. So,
yeah, me too.
It was rainy as hell on the way to the game, but during the game, it was decent.
Hey, John Bird, thank you very much for the $10 super chat, man. Thank you for all your support. He says, y'all have a great show. Hey, man, appreciate it, buddy. He says, love you all and the Canes, but we're still awful. As always, it's all about the U. And I agree on everything you said there. Yeah, we do look awful at the time being, and it sucks. But
John talking about how much we suck, a lot of positivity from John tonight. But
John's a realist, though. I like it. He's still a fan, even if we do lose. And that's kind of like me. And anybody that wants to come on here and be like, just pout around and act like, oh my God, the world's over. What else are we supposed to do? We're going to come on here and talk about it. And
I mean, like I said, this isn't the Middle Tennessee performance. This isn't. I mean, this is easily, you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mistakes, and we win the game.
I mean, I would push back and say this is probably the best game we've played all season.
Arguably.
Yeah.
I think, our performance in this game, even though we lost, was probably the best game we've played all year so far.
John, I don't know about Charlottesville. I've never been there, but Wake Forest is definitely an underrated stadium. I went there for a game. Oh God, it was probably 10 years ago now, but because Randy Shannon was still the head coach. But for a smaller school and a smaller stadium, I can't hate on Wake Forest. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to what is it, Howard's Rock? Isn't that the Clemson Stadium?
Man, let me tell you something. If Miami somehow manages to win that game, I need every Miami fan to rush the field so I can go Debo that rock while nobody's looking.
dude, in the Rock, I'll buy a freaking ticket. I'll go up there and we'll haul that shit off that stupid hill.
I am excited to go to the game though. Like I like going to new stadiums. It's always fun. I've never been to that one, so
yeah.
I'm
I mean, I would have gone to Texas A&M because that's one of the stadiums on my list that I would like to go to.
Yeah, that would be awesome too.
Yeah.
And
I've said it before.
I'd like us to play Penn State at some point again, because that's Happy Valley is another one that it's just one of those stadiums. It's got to be on everybody's list.
And another one I've talked about it before is is it Neyland? Is that the Tennessee stadium?
Yeah.
Yes, I've been there.
That's a really fun place to see a game at too.
Dude, I was there, and the only time I've been to Neyland for a game, I was there in 2002 for home. It was Tennessee's homecoming when Willis McGahee busted them for like 300 yards.
That's awesome. Oh, what else do we have? Hey, Randy Payne, thanks for tuning in. I can't say those first two words that you have there. I would probably burst into flames, but in Tifton, Georgia, ouch. But thanks for stopping in, man. I do appreciate it.
You know what's bad is I know exactly where that is because
I do too.
I live. Okay, do you know just south of there you got like Moultrie and Norman Park?
Yeah,
I lived there for like 4 years. It was terrible.
Oh man. There's like the wind doesn't blow. Big mosquitoes.
Dude, it was such a small town. The chief of police also ran the septic truck.
That's awesome.
The cable man was the volunteer fire chief.
Well, John, I do hope you have fun in Virginia, and they're going to let us score at least twice. I think they might just be field goals, but you'll get to see something.
I've got to say, I really am. I'm more than a little surprised in Virginia because they were bringing back that quarterback, Brad Armstrong, who's really good. And I was like, okay, Tony Elliott's got a good quarterback to work with. I don't keep up with Virginia like that, so I don't know who all they lost and were bringing back. But somebody told me they lost most of their offensive line, kind of like how Boston College is. And, I mean, it has just been to their detriment. Virginia is absolutely terrible.
I mean, Cody Brown is there, one of our running backs from last year. He transferred over there. So.
Yeah, Kyle, I bet that was cool to go to Texas A&M Stadium. I've always wanted to go there too. Now I want to go there even worse because I want to throw a mustard bottle at that Zach guy. But
that's like Corey Gaynor, our former center, is now North Carolina center.
Yeah. There's a few times I was sitting right behind the North Carolina bench, and there was a few times that coaches were coming over to him and hyping him up. Definitely because he's playing against his former team in his former stadium, and they benched him last year.
Man, John's gone all over and gone to games. Now he's talking about Boston College is a fun place too in Chestnut Hill. He said he watched the Canes play. Great place. Man, John, I'm kind of jealous, man. You need to start taking me with you.
I know, right?
I know. Now we did have fun last year, even though we lost, but watching at the Mercedes-Benz, watching the opening game against Alabama, that was fun. I like that stadium, but I like the college stadiums the best.
Yeah. Well,
so what else, guys? What else, guys? You
who have we got next week? Virginia Tech.
Tech. At
yeah.
Where do they play? Blacksburg.
Yeah,
Blacksburg.
The Virginia Tech is another one, and I knew, I mean, at least they didn't stick with Justin Fuente. They gave him ample time, and he wasn't working out. But God, Virginia Tech is god awful. I mean, once again, as much as Miami fans are complaining, we ain't got Virginia Tech problems. We ain't got Virginia problems. We ain't got Boston College problems.
Well, hopefully not. We do have to play. Hopefully, after we win, Slim. After we win, I want that prediction of 750 yards.
You want me to troll people again? Talking about
yes,
750
please.
yards?
Yeah, please.
Yo, real quick, I just got home. How much longer are we gonna keep running on this? Because if we're gonna keep going, then I'll just jump on my computer. If not, then I'll just log off now.
I mean, I think another 10, 15 minutes. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to cover. I mean, unless y'all want to start being pessimistic and talking about how horrible we are.
No, if you want to go on Twitter, man. We've talked about this before. Just go on Twitter.
I'll bet Miami Twitter is awesome right now. Is Clemson playing right now?
Yeah, Clemson's playing Boston College in that red bandana game.
Well, Hummus Hero, which is the name cracks me up. He says Clemson's struggling against a team that lost to Rutgers. Are they having trouble with Boston College?
I mean, I'm standing outside at the moment. I couldn't tell you. I got 2 6-year-olds running around inside. Y'all wouldn't hear a word I said if I was inside the house.
No, I got you. Well, Hummus, yeah, update us on that score if you don't care, man. That'd be kind of cool. And Mac Tungskin, he's gonna be at the Virginia Tech game. All right, man. You I hope you bring the good luck there and get us a W.
All right. I'm a lot. It was great talking to you guys again.
Hey, yeah, Hurricane Central. Thanks a lot, man. You want to tell everybody where they can find you at?
Well, Hurricane Central on Instagram. Started doing YouTube live streams every Thursday night. This night's gonna be Wednesday though. If you guys want to hop in and jump in there, I do it with Slim and Fools. Just talk about some Canes football and college football all around. About hour or so. Last week we went for an hour and a half and just had some fun there. So yeah, if you don't mind, Fools just dropping it, the channel link in the comments so people can check it out. Appreciate that.
Yeah, let me see if I can figure that out. I'm real tech savvy, so I could probably do it. Actually, I don't know how I'm going to do that, to be honest. I'll figure it out.
You've done it before. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can probably do it. I can do it off my phone. Yeah, I'll get your link drop. I can do it off my phone. So Slim, what while I'm looking this up, what else? What else you got to say? Spread some good vibes or something.
Well, I think I've annoyed enough people tonight. But I'll say this. It kind of piggybacking off of what I said a minute ago. A lot of our schedule going forward, I mean, as down as people are, like I said, we don't have Virginia or Virginia Tech problems, and we got to play both of them. We don't have Pitt's problems. I can't even explain what's going on with them. And so I
just dropped the link in the chat. And like I said, I'm gonna head out, guys. Great talking to you. See you next week after Virginia Tech, and see you Wednesday night too. It's Wednesday this week, so
yeah, Wednesday night. Make sure I'm gonna drop. I don't think your link dropped. Because for some reason, I think you have to be a moderator of the channel.
Yeah, to drop a link, you do. Yeah.
So,
well,
I got you right now. It's coming up though. I'm trying to find your channel here. I'm gonna drop it from mine.
All right.
But yeah, everybody should make sure. Yeah, Wednesday night this week. Normally Thursday nights. What time are you gonna be going on?
8:30, 8:45. That time is consistent, but I just got some things to take care of Thursday. I'm headed out of town Friday, so.
I got you. Yeah, y'all make sure you tune in. I swear to God, I've almost found your.
And I kind of agree with what's going on in the chat right now, talking about, Mallory's deficiencies. Yes. But, like got said, Arroyo's out for the year. All right, boss man.
All right. Thanks a lot. I got your link right here. Finally found it.
And I mean, it's one of those things, despite Mallory's deficiencies, you kind of have to make the best you can with what you have for right now. I mean, nobody likes it. I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, I can't knock Mallory too much. I mean, he just had a great game catching the ball. So, okay, you can run max protect sets without having the tight end block and hide his deficiencies. It is the best thing I can say for that.
All right, there you go. I just dropped Hurricane Central's link in the chat. Yeah, join us there every normally it's on Thursday. It's going to be Wednesday this week, but around 8:45, 9 o'clock. We always get on there and we have some good times. We don't talk just about college football, or just about Miami football and other teams and some other stuff. We end up talking about just a bunch of nonsense sometimes too, which is really fun. Right. I actually have a good time going on there. So it's pretty good. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the chat here now. But yeah, there's his link right there if y'all want to give him a follow. That would be awesome. But yeah, Slim, I mean, I think, today's game kind of, it is what it is. I really had my doubts about winning it.
Well, I think it perfectly showed that there isn't doom and gloom going forward, that we're better than we played in the MTSU game, obviously, which, I mean, everybody should have known that. I mean, right. You can point to, name your team any year and scratch your head about a loss going, how did that happen? I mean, look at it like this. At least the worst we've had is losing to a group of 5 school like MTSU or FIU a couple years ago. We're not losing to FCS schools like Florida State does when they're absolutely terrible, like Florida does when they're absolutely terrible. We never hit the depths of multiple 4 and 8 years. And I made this point to somebody once before, and I really think it's true. To me, as mediocre as Miami has been, it's actually probably worse than the team just outright being bad.
Right, yeah.
Because that's really where they've been. They've been stuck at that, 7-8 wins, stuck in mediocrity for so long. Because you could only point to, 1, maybe 2 years in this stretch where their record wouldn't have got them to a bowl game. And I'm not talking about the years that they self-imposed when Al Golden first got there. I ain't talking about that.
Right.
Because they actually won the division one of those years. But
yeah, that was our only chance probably of ever winning the ACC, or previous chance. Hopefully we got some in the future, but that one year.
I don't even remember. I know it. Miami had to sit out, so it went to North Carolina. They had to sit out because that's when the academic scandal was going on. So Georgia Tech actually ended up going. And I don't even remember who they played. Because
it's been so long ago.
That was before Florida State got really, really good. They were still a couple of years away from that team.
Yeah, I have trouble. I don't remember who actually won it that year either, but I don't think
I have trouble remembering. I remember. I'd have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast.
Exactly.
But no, like I said, I think this game proves that it's not all doom and gloom going forward. I mean, the problems we saw in this game
can be corrected.
Are very fixable. Yes.
Yeah, you can doom and gloom it, but I actually think we saw progress being made, and that's a plus. It's not a win, but it's a plus. I would have much rather had to win, but
like I mean, I don't come out talking about moral victories or anything like that, because you either win or you lose. It is what it is. But and maybe I feel the way I do because of the way the Middle Tennessee State game went. But I mean, nobody can have the slightest bit of doubt that the team looked, especially offensively, looked exponentially better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Well, you about ready to wrap it up, Slim? Go watch some football, eat some food?
It's your world, boss. I just live in it.
You just living in it. Man, what a world we live in. What a world we live in. Well, Slim, you want to plug yourself here?
Well, yeah, I mean, I occasionally upload the pointless or barely watchable video on YouTube. There might be one come out this week. I mean, I was supposed to put one out last week, but I mean, life happens. Like I said, I got 2 kids and a pregnant wife, and I work all the time, so I wasn't able to get it done. But I am going to try and get it done this week. So
man,
there'll be a video.
Man.
Yeah, there'll be a video put out. It should be sometime this week that some Miami fans are going to like, some Miami fans are going to hate, and some are just going to go, eh.
Yeah, love him or hate him. Slim's a good follow. Definitely type in Slim Shady Canes, and he will come up, and subscribe to him. And if you want to watch late night trivia or travel videos or any of that kind of good stuff, I think I just dropped the link to our channel there. Make sure you subscribe there as well.
Just the warning about his trivia shows. Not for the faint of heart once it hits 2 to 3 a.m.
Oh no. If you want to have a good time and do some late night trivia streams and some good talk, make sure you subscribe to a Traveling Fools channel right there. I just dropped the link. It's we always have a lot of fun. And there's even some good travel videos that come out from all over the world that we make. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, I guess to everybody out there, thanks so much for tuning in, taking your time to come here and hang out with us. We will try to be just as positive next week, regardless of the outcome, because we're not a bunch of whiners, and we're not going to sit here and cry all night. We don't drown our sorrows. We teach them how to swim.
Exactly.
All right, Slim. Well, it's been great, man. And thanks everybody for tuning in to the Voice of College Football's Miami post-game show. Hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you again next week. Hopefully we'll be in an even better mood. All right. Good night to everybody.